Here's the first room, what I'm calling the long flower room, the sealed CO2.
So over the past year, we've built this room, greenhouse, and indoor tents. Started our first grows at the new licensed farm.
Sealed CO2, I want to map out everything today from the reservoir location, to the wiring, to the control panel. Pretty much good to go and harvest. Everything's looking good. We're going to take a look at the trichomes here in a bit. Good work, Brian. Everything looking good, brother.
Battle of the Breeders has come to an end. We've harvested, cured, and even did a post-harvest analysis to find out the true winners.
So we got baby Yoda number 1, number 2, number 5, and number 7.
Okay.
Oh, and you got all these flowers on 360 spins.
We were able to wash the first fresh frozen material and see some crazy returns. The full Seed to Harvest episode and award show for the Battle of the Breeders goes live in December, so keep an eye out. But you see, all this was done in our phase 1 grow setup.
The exact build that we did in each room, all these details.
Some powerful Evo LEDs from AC Infinity.
These are the Evo 10s?
Yeah, Evo 10s, yep.
Basic air filtration and exhaust.
So these are the intake air filters.
We've been monitoring our metrics with Pulse and even installed a few new displays so we could see our metrics around the farm.
We're all set up on the TVs.
You see, phase 1 is officially coming to an end, and it was time to get into phase 2 of our grow setup. Today, we'll be covering the upgrades that are coming to the farm. Indoor and outdoor getting a full makeover.
Right on, 4x8 coming together. 12 automatic drainage plants now set up. Now we got to get irrigation set up, finish drainage.
The end of the hand watering era, and moving to a semi-automated feeding system, inspired by the ATHENA feed schedule and grower's manual.
It really is a huge inspiration for pushing the game and getting into this, getting into the official drybacks, getting into monitoring every single little thing, paying attention to when it comes to nutrition, and following the recipe of the pros.
Welcome back to another vlog update on HomeGrowTV. Make sure to subscribe now if you haven't already. So let me take you guys behind the scenes and let's dive into all the new changes.
The day's here and I cannot believe that this just fit in the car. Wow, it just showed up. Check this out. Check it out, Brian. They're here. They made it all the way from the USA. The beds. 6 by 12. Wow. Just stand it, just to see, look. All right, so Brian, check it out, buddy. Right now you're standing next to the Botanicare drain beds. Those are nice and thick. Here's the exact measurements for these right here. It's gonna be perfect. So all we're gonna have to do, we'll have to put in our drain holes here. So yeah, we're not easy to find on the internet. I was really surprised at how little information there is about the drain beds and even just on YouTube. And then where to actually buy them. It was like we were scrolling the internet. Huge shout out to Terpy Highs, who's been a huge help with this entire process.
I did post them on Instagram, so if you don't follow me, at Terpy Highs on Instagram, I did post these earlier about me assembling these.
We ended up going with Botanicare from growershouse.com. The total price on these each were, so not too bad, and shipping wasn't too bad either, getting it all the way here to Colombia, considering it's just impossible to find stuff like this here in the country. So we had to ship it in. Showed up in decent shape. It's good quality, you can see, nice and thick. What do you think, Brian? You like it?
Ya estoy emocionado de empezar a construir.
Heck yeah, bro. A few more things yet to show up. We got to get the emitters, the drippers, you know, build the tables. But exciting first step, bro. Let's get it inside. Queda solo medio centímetro.
Para una sierra como que corte metal y apenas con la chica la macho.
Hachi, come here. Ready? Well, all right, guys, it is build day. Today, we're going to be building this right here. Our little rolling table for the indoor CO2 room. Total footprint of 4 feet by 12 feet. This was really cool concept. All we had to do was locally source our conduit, 3/4 inch. These big tables we had to buy online. These we got from Grower's House, 4 foot by 6 foot, which 2 of them together is gonna be perfect, 4 by 12. And so the coolest part about how this table is gonna come together, huge shout out to my man Terpy Highs for this tip right here. And so how we're gonna put this together is all I had to do was make a simple order, send that blueprint you just seen, this one right here on the screen. I sent that to MakerPipe. So MakerPipe.com was super cheap and easy to get all the fittings. All this stuff cost me about, I think it was $50 for everything I need to build the rolling table. the wheels and everything, and this all fits for the 3/4 inch. So it's basically a full kit that you send your blueprints to. They give you all the fittings, and then wherever you live, you just buy your own conduit. And that's what we're gonna be building today. This right here, the only modification is basically we're not gonna do the roof. We're not gonna do the top part because we already have our lights hanging perfectly in there. So we're probably gonna cut the bars off at 6 feet-ish, you know, 180 centimeters-ish. And that way we can still put on clip-on fans, trellis net in the future if we want to, but we have the freedom to still kind of move it around and the lights will just stay in their place. So yes, that is the plan today. We're gonna get building. I'm not as handy as Terpy Highs is. If you guys haven't seen his channel, check it out. He builds everything by himself, by hand, does all the research, all the plumbing, all the irrigation, everything. The guy does it all and has amazing tutorials on his channel. So that's a lot of the stuff that we're kind of following with what we're building in here. We're essentially gonna be building like a Terpy Highs rolling bench, like one of the new ones that he has. So if you haven't seen his channel, check it out. I'm not as handy as he is, but I'm gonna be getting my first use ever of a grinder today to be able to cut the conduit. We're gonna take our measurements, cut out one little section to see if it fits. If it fits, then we're gonna cut everything and get it set up today. Crazy part is, dude, I have no safety glasses or anything, but I got my paintball mask. I mean, this thing's rated up for paintballs going 300 feet per second. So I should be good. I don't know.
You know we don't play, stay out the way. Check out this look on my face. I'll come save the day. Give me my cape. Look at I'm flying away.
But not too bad. I cut my first piece of conduit. Right on, dude. Nice. All right. So we got more than half of everything cut. We got our standing walls, right? So 8 of these. And then I just kind of roughly laid everything out just to take a look at it, if I'm not mistaken. So it'd be like corner tall one, middle tall, corner, you know, middle. So that's 8 with these. This, the idea is raised 16 inches off the ground. So these will connect to the corner pipe at 16 inches and so on all the way through. I'm gonna grab some of our corner brackets right now, size it up and see if it's gonna fit perfectly with the drainage bed. All right, perfect. Well, I just did a rough little kind of put it together to see width-wise if the actual drainage trays are gonna fit in there good, and it's looking perfect. So 123 centimeters on the bar length is perfect and gives it that little extra wiggling room for when we gotta take anything out and so on. So right on, now we just gotta cut the last 8 bars. She's ready to set up. I might as well take all this inside and set it up in there. So heck yeah, productive day, dude. Oh yeah, maybe a quick little dab break before cutting these last 8. Hitting white on this one. Shout out Bobo Glass for this awesome dry hitter Colombian inspired palm tree on the Puffco Gold 3DXL on this thing. Rips, dude. All right, so next step is getting our wheels on 3/4 inch into our conduit pipes. Here's how I've been doing it, like so it's nice and tight in here, which is perfect. So all you gotta do is lightly tap it in. All right, here is how we are roughly gonna lay it out. This is what it looks like. We got the brackets ready to go. Gotta bring these up 16 inches, and that's gonna be the height of the table. And so I basically just laid everything out for the middle section, corners, and then started to brace it together here on this side. Started laying it out. And so that's the next step, is getting the base on. Probably the biggest step. Man, it's about 11 p.m. GoPro Brian did not show up, but man, we could really use you, bro. We need your help, dude. All right, the next day after a long night of building, look who showed up. Grow Bro Brian, back in the house, dude. And we got some genetics to look at. So we popped these just the other day. In the can 48 hours ago, and bam, this is insane. So we got a lot of planting to do. Everything absolutely crushed it and germinated crazy. Little furry taproots. And so this is all of the regulars seeds, the Lance A and B, and then a bunch of the cheetah piss crossed to Lance as well. Then over here we're going to be doing the plants, which is the purple GMO crossed to Lance, and then the Ridgeline runts and Lance cross as well, 15 of each. This is gonna be a really long process. These are all regular seeds, right? So you'll see in future updates how we're gonna veg them out, take clones, how we're gonna find the sex of everything. It's definitely an extra step. And then later in this episode, we'll talk about some of the new genetics that we're gonna be popping soon and what kind of things you guys wanna see here on the channel. So it's time to get planting. Let's get outside. All right, so we're gonna start by planting all these Lance. Got all the pots cleaned, sitting out in the sun right now, and then we'll be planting here in the shade. By the way, look at all this cocoa that showed up, dude. The indoor is soon gonna be fully just cocoa, so that's why we have a bunch of cocoa stocked up. But today for everything here on this run, we're gonna be going into full basically mother plants, cloning out, finding out the sex, and then doing a big batch of clones to then pheno hunt. So it's an extra step, and this is quite a large pheno hunt of Ridgeline genetics. So the dream is, and I'm throwing it down right here on the vlog, that Jason from Ridgeline actually comes down and hunts these and sees them in person. So I'm calling it out right now. That's the goal. We're gonna get planting all these right now, and within a few months, we should be looking at some of our first femmes of them.
Tell me how much you love me. Tell me you'll never doubt me. Tell me how much I change your life. Say you can't live without me. Tell me I make you lazy. Tell me I drive you crazy. Tell me there's no one in this world you need more than me, baby.
Love me not, love me, love me not, love me, love me not, love me, love me not, love me like I love me, like I love me, like I love me, love me, love me like I love me, like I love me, like I love myself.
Nice. Fresh little coffee, because we got some fresh gear that just showed up here for the 4x8, the second flower room, the 4x8 automatic watering system. We're going to be going with a test of the bucket company. These right here are the easy drip tables, I think they're called, and we're going to set them up. These are the small little 15-inch drip tables, and essentially what this is going to be, the pot goes on here, it drips down into here, which we put this little T on each one, and that'll connect all the drainage to each one, and they'll have automatic irrigation from up top in the back. So here's all of our drippers, it comes with sprayers, we got some valves. So the total cost of this setup for the 4x8 and the 2x4 wasn't necessarily cheap. There's the cost right there. They do not sponsor the channel. I wanted on this run for all the irrigation stuff for me to go out there, buy the products, test it first to see which one I like. On one end, we're doing drip irrigation with the FloraFlex lines. On this end, on the 4x8 area, we're gonna be doing the bucket company with some stuff. So totally test run. I do not have a discount code or anything going right now. In the future, with whichever one I do like, or if there is one that I recommend, I'll reach out to them and see if we can get a discount code for you guys as well. But we gotta test it first, like everything on the channel. We genuinely never recommend anything or any gear unless we actually use it ourselves, like it, and trust it. So Bucket Company, FloraFlex are going through the ringer right now. For our pump, we got ourselves right here. This is the Leader 110 Eco Jet Pump. I seen it on a Terpy Highs video. We got this off of the website of the Growers House. They got tons of different gear on there, so we were able to find both of these with the little Electrolux thing. It's on its way, whatever sits up on here, that's coming. And these are gonna be essentially the pumps that'll be triggered on with the solenoids and all that stuff using the open sprinkler tied into the pulse. So pulse is gonna be the driving factor behind starting and feeding and doing all this stuff. Big steps today. Let's get building on these little drainage trays. right, there we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everything for the 4x8 good to go, and just gonna put the T connectors on now. So these right here, and then I'm gonna put them inside the tent. We'll get these little T connectors on, each one for the drainage, and then I want to put them in the tent just to kind of visualize the layout of everything. And then tomorrow, hopefully the tubing is showing up and everything for the actual watering system behind, and then pots as well. I had to order 2-gallon pots, because huge shout out to Athena for pushing me to be a better grower.
Selecting the correct substrate size will allow you to have more control over your BWC percent and substrate EC. Think of a 1-gallon pot as a Ferrari and a 5-gallon pot as a semi-truck.
A lot of this getting into irrigation is because of Athena, just because of the manual and seeing the power of automating your grow, the controlling of drybacks, and actually reaching the full potential of the plant. So huge shout out to Athena for pushing me to be a better grower, and then huge shout out to Pulse Grow for being my step into that world, right? So Athena with the manual helped me understand a lot of what's going on, but it wasn't until I had the Pulse actually tie into the open sprinkler that I can now finally take advantage of this big step. So huge step, big learning curve coming. I can't wait to show you guys everything. Let's get these done and inside the tent to visualize what it looks like. So here's the 4x8 that all the raised little table beds, the easy trays, are gonna be going into. So there's 12 in here, rows of 2. So maybe we have the drainage going in the middle, or maybe on the edges. I'm not sure. We're still waiting for one more thing to show up to be able to finish it. And then 3 of them are gonna be going in here. So we'll only be doing 3 plants in here, 12 plants in here. But talking about this right here, my oh my. This right here, guys, is the Terp Team 6. Special unreleased testers that we're testing here from Umami. Looking really good. This thing's a frost monster right here. Crazy. This thing's gonna finish nuts. It's like day 35 flower or so on here. Something's really standing out about this bud. Kind of looks familiar. Reminded me of the Lime Sa'i almost. Let's get a little terp check. Oh my God. Yep, it's starting. Oh, whoa. This thing is nuts. So I got my eye on a few already. Let's see how they're gonna finish out. Looking really good in the Terp Team 6 tent from Umami. Wow.
Tune up the 808 baseline check. They stay complacent, me, I'm a threat. Big moves only how I connect. Living it large, no need to reflect.
So the idea with this little 6 planter in here in the 2x4, we have 4 different strains, 6 plants. Whatever our favorite 2 are, again, on just this quick little pop, is what we're gonna put into the CO2 and do a much bigger batch. We're gonna search through 9, 10 different phenos of our favorite 2 strains from in here in the Terp Team 6 from Umami. So far, this 901A is really standing out, and then this 910's looking crazy on the frost, but so is the 906A. So I don't know. They're all looking really good. It's going to be exciting to see which one actually crushes it at the end, which we should know within the next month. We'll see who's our winner going into the CO2, which will time out perfectly for getting all the renovations done. And then still lots of work to do in this room. We got to get this whole thing done as far as the irrigation setup. Reservoirs in here. We're gonna move this tent, this 2x4, over to this side near the entrance. And then on that side, we're gonna put the reservoirs because that's close. On the other side of that is the CO2 room. So we can easily just pipe in and have 3 little res tanks of water, nutrients, always on standby. Exciting stuff, lots of work to do. I love it when there's all this stuff to do. I love just improving always. It's kind of like growing the plants in general. It's always fun. There's always changes. You're always learning stuff. And we are most certainly learning a lot of new stuff in this new venture. So tomorrow, more gear arrives. We got lots more to do in the CO2, lots more to do in here. So let's get to it. All right, guys, we're headed back into the studio because we're popping more beans and the man himself is here. Rosin Bogota Medeseft in the house. What do we got, bro?
This is like a dream come true, bro. Some BOP Sanguela Papaya from Shuel, from House Studio.
From Shuel, dude. So this one just showed up. This one here is Santi's. These ones here are ours. Let's get Brian to open this up because I'm going to tell you guys the story of, how this kind of came. Shuel right here. Have you guys seen this? Throw it down in the comments. Santi was one that originally showed me this. Where did you first see this and why did it stand out to you? you, Farmhouse?
A couple of you know I'm obsessed with trichomes, so watching videos, probably the Instagram algorithm or stuff, show me this art about trichomes, this very deep info about trichomes. Right there was Trail and Farmhouse Studio, so I said, these guys know what they're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then you showed me, and I'll throw it up on the screen right now, like the pictures are crazy of the different trichome picks that they were doing, and specifically breeding for washing, hash making, and putting up data. So there it is. It went down like this, guys. We were hanging out one night. Santi goes, I just ordered my first pack of Sueo, the BOP. It wasn't cheap, guys. This was $200 a pack of 12 regular seeds. They did throw in a freebie, which is the Huela Papaya, or like...
Gela Papaya?
Yeah, like it sounds like Hallelujah Papaya, but this right here is the papaya crossed to the Jomo. And as soon as he did, I was like, you know what? I'll make the exact same order. I dropped $200, and combined, we have 2 packs of BOP and 2 packs of the Guela Papaya. So what's the plan today, guys?
Popping, start to germinate.
Nice. So into the studio, we're gonna start popping. This is gonna be our, our little collaborative pheno hunt together. We're gonna hunt the females here, find out what's what sex, and then we're gonna send some clones over to Santi's place. I'm gonna hunt a bunch over here as well, and we'll see what's gonna be the best washer.
What we're trying to do here is also try to change our mindset up of looking for a yield percentage and more for like resin per square meter, like they say.
There we go. So we're hunting trichomes officially here, first time. More genetics to come still in this episode that we're gonna be popping, but still, let me know down in the comments, guys, what you guys think we should be popping next. Let's take it into the studio.
Come on, come here, come a little closer. Don't be afraid, no, I don't wanna hurt you. Little more, come near, let me just show you. Don't know, can't talk, let me just show you. Don't be obsessive, it could be intensive, it could be explosive, it could be offensive. Don't be defensive, don't be aggressive, it will be a waste cause we could be expensive.
So there it is, popped our first pack, and definitely one of the most expensive packs that we popped in a while. So I just wanted to say this, for new growers, maybe this isn't something you're specifically looking for. This definitely is something a little bit more niche for those looking to specifically make hash or make extraction from their flowers. So for those new growers, as I often do here on the channel, we've partnered up with Seedsman. They are the best one-stop shop for tons of different breeders and available for worldwide shipping. So I always have their info down in the description below. We get a lot of our stuff from there as well. They just have awesome options and availability around the world. So we do test and show everything that we always want to see here on the channel. But I also just want to throw in disclaimers that maybe certain things are a little bit more on the pricey point and not for everyone. If you guys are hunting hash, definitely check out Farmhouse, because this right here could be something special. Alright, we're back. Update here, we're doing the full drainage on the flood tables here. Today we're going to be installing these right here, our little drainage holes, 3/4 inch out here inside our bed on this side, and we got to do one on that side as well. So we'll be draining down here, take out that box, and we're going to be setting up our drainage system, which originally I was going to do something different, a little more heavy duty kind of, pump, but I decided to go with this from the bucket company here, which is going to tie both sides in to either from here, both drain beds, or I can put one in on here and the other one in on this side. However we want to set it up is all going to flood into here, and then this is going to be our pump out, which we're going to be pumping out, and we got to find our drainage, which is somewhere over here, and that's going to be our simple setup today. Worst case, if we get any leaks, we could always take it off and put some silicone. I think we got our first little drainage hole set up, dude. Okay, perfect. So we got our drain holes in both beds. We're gonna do a little bucket underneath and a little test to see if it's actually fully sealed. And then maybe even put some water on here, give this a little light clean, let it drain out into the bucket. We'll do that on both sides, and then we'll get this little thing installed here. And then this is what's to come after. Here's all of our irrigation drippers. This is all from Floraflex. These are all 1/2 gallon per hour drip emitters, single emitters. I'm gonna put 2 in per plant. I think we're gonna do 2 gallons. I think we're gonna do 2 gallons in here. I'm not fully sure.
The smaller the substrate size, the faster our dryback will be, making it easier to adjust water content and substrate EC with strategic irrigation events. In my opinion, 2-gallon cocoa pots or 6x6 rock wool cubes are the most ideal substrates for a precise irrigation strategy.
I really just want to dial it in with everything ATHENA on the dry back, and I think 2 gallons is a great place to be able to start and be able to fully monitor and work with everything on the dry back. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited to get to installing all this stuff here. The total order cost for everything I did here on the 2 beds for all the drip emitters, I think a total of 27 plants, but I might go up on that, was a total of this. So not too bad on FloorFlex. I actually even used Huygens code. Shout out to you guys. Again, we don't have a code for it. We've never used it before. We're just testing it right now to see if we really do like FloorFlex. So we'll get all these little things installed here and set up. To control everything, we're gonna be using these little motorized ball valves. These are going to be the motorized ball valves that we're going to be using to automatically control through the open sprinkler AI system on Pulse's platform. So a lot of parts going into this, a lot of moving parts from different companies, the bucket company, FloorFlex, the beds, Grower's House, right? So shout out to Grower's House for having a huge stock on a lot of great stuff like these beds. Bucket company, again, we're just reviewing right now to see if these are actually going to be good or if we're going to have to go with a different company. Same thing with FloorFlex. We don't know yet if this is going to be something we like or if Netafim or something else is going to be better. But either way, this is a big step forward, guys, getting our full irrigation set up here. Let's get this drainage going. Okay, so water going in. All right, looks like we're good. First one, no leaks, we're set. Okay, so now that works, just do a general little cleanse and see where the water is laying. Water running down, draining, everything draining, perfect. Yeah, perfect. So that is pretty cool because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous when we set up this bed right here with everything from the pipebuilder.com. I didn't know, at first glance how much adjusting I was gonna need to do to have it drain down, but it was really easy. The first try, we absolutely nailed it with this setup, so solid, dude. It's officially draining. Gotta say, this is the first time I've ever had a drain table like this. I think there's a few obvious benefits right off the bat to having this. We can now finally have an easy way to check our runoff. We now have an easy way to be able to flush, and the most obvious is we're moving into the sense of an automated irrigation system, which the drainage is going to be key to have on this. We did it, water is officially flowing. All right, drainage system all installed. So we got bed number 1, this one here, drains in right there into the side. We can still move the bench and everything. I gotta get it in perfect position. So bed 1, and then bed number 2 drains into the back from right there. So hopefully I gave myself enough slack on here to be able to move this around. And now this is the drain pipe out. This is what sucks. I'm gonna have to put a hole through this wall and drain out through this sink because I don't know what happened here, whoever lived here before. I have drainage in here, but they fully sealed it up. Like, I don't even know what they did here. So, change of plans. We got no drainage in here. One of the changes we're gonna have to make while we're doing this is drainage is gonna was gonna go out here easily, out. Well, now it's gonna have to go through the wall and out through the sink. So we're gonna have to do that another day. But we're gonna do a little test drain right now and see if she drains out properly. All right, so we're all plugged in, we're set up. We're about to do our test drain of water. You ready? In this one here. So this should turn on solo. Let's see. Okay, the water starts to come in here. When water breaks that barrier, it should kick on the pump. So there's 20 liters, 5 gallons, just went into the bed. No prendido. Shit, it's not turning on. No power, I don't think. Oh, it's not working. Oh no. Oh my god, so we clearly found an issue. There's water everywhere. Lo tapé por ahora. Oh my god, fuck. Hay una válvula. Oh my god, hay que soltar, hay que parar esto. This is fucked. No. Okay. ¿Prendió? Sí. Well, that was a little bit of chaos. I don't know why. Our power outlet wasn't working. I plugged it in here, started working, it kicked on. That was scary. It's officially draining. I'm not gonna lie, after that little scare, I'm already starting to feel like maybe this isn't the system, but we're gonna keep testing things over the next few days just to make sure. All right, so it's turning on automatically. It's working. Should we try another bucket? Probamos otro balde? Let's try another bucket, see if this problem's fixed. Yeah, give her a go. I'll watch the drain. So it's flowing in. Listo, espera. Yeah, it kicked on. It's working and it keeps up, no problem. All right, let's lay out our pots and just roughly see our size. These are 1 gallons. We're gonna be using 2 gallons. I thought about originally using 3 gallons, but I'm like, no, let's go with 2. So in theory, we're gonna do rows of 3 all the way down for a total of 27. And so what I wanna do here is get a visual, and then also we wanna lay our irrigation line now. So we're gonna have 1 T coming down in the middle. So for today, we're gonna pretend these are corners, and then when they show up here later this week, we'll switch them back out. All right, so this end's basically the base setups here. This is where obviously the water is gonna be coming in from the other room with the reservoirs. So we added this fitting on here, the 16 millimeter pipe to 3/4 inch adapters like this, so that way we can just tie our hose onto it. And so we'll connect this end all the way down to this end, which on this end here, we're gonna add 2 new things. We'll add the air flush valve, so when it turns on, the air flushes out through top of here. I've also seen these things explode on a YouTube short, so I ordered a few backups, and I'm thinking about maybe putting it inside in the table, because you never know. I don't know, I'm new to this. And then we're also gonna put one of these, put a little 3/4 inch pressure gauge as well, so we know what pressure is going in. So we're getting this in all the way down on this side. Boom, there it is. Temporary irrigation line set up. They're a little squiggly right now from just shipping and the way the tubing is. So I heard from Terpy Highs, just throw down some masking tape or some tape right here. Tape it down in the places you want it to hold. Within a day or so, it's gonna set. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna tape it. And officially done in this room today. Finished up here, at least the light start to the irrigation. Finished the drainage. Really hope that system's gonna work out. But making moves, Brian, good work, dude. So next phase to come is punching all of our lines and getting all of our irrigation set up. We've come to a stance in the CO2 room, in the big flower room, so we're back in the 4x8 room, and we've done some repositioning. The 2x4 used to be right here, now it's sitting over here. Here's all the Umami, looking really good. These are the testers for the Terp Team 6. This one's looking just frosty. So cool update from the last time we've seen them, day 42 flower. But today, it's time to finish all this stuff here. So we have a total of 12 bases. These are the small drainage tables. These are all gonna drain in the middle here, come back down over here, into the drainage thing here from the bucket company. So we're gonna finish all the tubing, piping for this right now and get this thing up to par. After all the drainage is done, then we'll come and we'll install all the irrigation, which I pretty much got. Each sprinkler head is now ready to go. I've connected everything, put the T's on, Teflon tape, the drippers, everything ready to go for after. So you ready, Brian?
Yeah.
Let's evolve. All the drainage lines all put in. Looking good, Brian? Wasn't the easiest of tasks, but we got it put in, dude. Right on, 4x8 coming together. 12 automatic drainage plants now set up. Now we gotta get irrigation set up, finish drainage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. officially the 4x8 all set out with drainage and irrigation, ready to go. All is going to be triggered when it's time to feed by pulse, and we're officially set up, guys. There it is. Wow. Here's our inline. This is nutrients coming in into here, right? On and off valve if we ever need that, which I don't know why we would, but there it is. Onto a T down one side of feeding. Everything is tied into here, so each plant has its own on and off. And the other switch we just made is we changed the drip emitters to half-gallon-an-hour drip emitters. These are half-gallon-an-hour drip emitters by Netafim, sold on Bucket Company. We're gonna go with these because it's as close as we have to our CO2 room. Whew! All we're missing now is we got to finish the drain line out. So basically we need a line going from, I'm basically out of tube right now, so there's another thing I got to order. More flexi PVC. But we're gonna basically run the drainage from here down on the floor all the way to the drain out right there. So that's what's left here. Other than that, obviously all the reservoirs, our pump, everything for our feed station. But most of the irrigation is set up. Brian, good work, dude. We did it. So we're gonna shut off the tent, pack her down for tonight, and wait for some more gear to show up. And I heard Mr. Q is coming tomorrow, so we might do a little mini tour. Well, it's another day at the farm, and behind me we got some crazy stuff that we're gonna be looking at. But first, look who's here, guys.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So the good grow bro he is, he shows up, and what do you bring? I heard a huge truckload of hummus, of castings?
You know, I never come just by myself. I always bring a lot of goodies. We'll get back to that later. But now, first of all, a truck full of hummus. Let's go!
Oh my God, all right. So it means it's time to sweat it out a little bit. I think there's a total of 50 sacks of castings.
It's 2 tons.
2 tons? Are you serious?
2,000 kilos, yeah, 2 tons.
2,000 kilos.
That's about 4,000 pounds, guys.
4,000 pounds. Holy.
I'm gonna say it in English. Our girlfriends would be proud that we're doing sports today.
Yeah. So we're Brian, already a pro at this. We got 2 tons of castings to get down, so let's go ahead and get the time lapse going, and then we'll tell you why we're getting all this. $50?
Count it. Boom, we did it. Workout of the day. Whoa!
And whoa! Everyone's probably thinking too, what's all of this castings for, bro? What's all this going to?
Well, this is the mix, the magic mix of Mr. Q, which is basically, bam, 70% of worm casting, 30% of cocoa fiber, a little bit of mycorrhiza, some solid nutrients to spice it up, microorganisms like trichoderma, and that's it.
Nice. So yeah, this is all going into the raised beds for the greenhouse, which is to come very soon. And then in the indoor, we got a big change coming, because for the first time ever, we're going to be using just 100% cocoa with all the...
Not even mycorrhiza?
Nothing. We're just going to go full 100% ATHENA irrigation cocoa. Nice. I mean, mycorrhiza maybe on a little transplant. Yeah, maybe that would probably be really good when we throw them in there.
So then I wonder, maybe you guys know, do you still use molasses and sugars? Because there's, I don't know, it's like inert, right? So there's no microorganisms in there. Do you then still got to feed them with molasses? I guess not.
I don't think
so.
No
sugars.
Bro. Nothing. No.
All right. Well, it's a good test.
Yeah, new changes coming, so it'll be a cool comparison. And our dry back should be much quicker. Just cocoa. We know exactly what's going in, especially because we're going to have reverse osmosis water.
We've used this cocoa before. It's top quality.
Top quality. Wow, so on the table we have quite the spread laid out. Q has brought all the genetics. I brought out all the genetics that we had in the fridge that we're taking a look at. We want to hear from you guys what we think we should grow next. But that's not all that's on the table. Q, what are these right here, bro? What is this?
Oh my God, so this, ladies and gentlemen, is the result of the battle of the breeders. Grown here at Dakota's place at HomeGrowTV, but we took all the samples home, at least 1 branch per plant, took them home, trimmed it nicely up, labeled it, so we can do a smoke test, or at least check out every strain. Oh, Fucking hell, what is this, baby Judah?
Oh,
Smell it.
wow.
Smell it, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
Smells so good, eh?
Wow.
Ryan, try it.
Ugh.
Gassy, exotic, a bit like La Bomba without the soapy stuff.
Oh, dude.
Creamy.
Cannot wait. Oh my God.
Was this grown indoor?
That was indoor, number 5, yeah.
That's why it's so frosty. Oh my God. So basically, we're gonna test all these strains, see which ones jump out, which ones are special. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to determine because, of course, this is all personal. That's why we do this in group. That's how we're gonna pick the winner.
Heck yes. Perfect. So this is the entire spread here, guys. Everything Battle of the Breeders, plus some personal entries and different stuff, everything we grew at our first harvest here at the house. So the plan, guys, is we're gonna kick it back, we're gonna set up the camera, we're gonna do full smoke report, kind of picking out the winners, the ones that we like. Then we're gonna dive deep into genetics, and we're gonna take a look at what things we're gonna be popping next, brand by brand, breeder by breeder, take a look at everything, all the options. There's quite a bit, but here's the deal, we're gonna be doing it over on Q's channel. Here's the video, guys, right here. Check it out, head over to Q's channel and watch the full Battle of the Breeders report and genetic breakdown.
See you there.
All right, another day, and we're back in the large flower room. We got some cool new updates because another mini shipment just showed up and the corners are here. So we are finally able to finalize the base setup here. We got our gauge. We finally got the corners put in. We've taped it down so it keeps its form. This is where the water is going to be coming in. Comes down this way. We're now going to go ahead and set up our drippers as well. And all the way down to this side, where we cut it a little bit short, we can have one row of plants here. Then here's our air bleed valve. Corners finally installed. And looking good, taking shape. So yeah, now the next task is, again, our theory, our blueprint of what we laid out is a total of, 27 plants. Rows of 3 times 9. But my thought is like, well, what if we could actually fit 2 in the middle here, add in an extra 9 plants? And do 36 plants. So depending on what we decide, we'll install right now 27 of the emitters, see what it looks like. And then in the future, that's what's nice about this, maybe we just add in or punch in a few more emitters if we decide we actually want to add in another row. But all right, here comes the time lapse. Well, there it is. Your first look at setting these up. I'm pretty sure these are 30-inch lines, and I'm almost wishing I got 24, but honestly, the way we have it set up, it's kind of looking good. So in theory, the way it is right now is we have on here, we use these little union valves as like, in theory, this is a 2-gallon pot. We're able to put down rows of 3 by 5, so 15 plants on this bed. 15 plant, 30 emitters, 2 emitters per plant. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this side for a total of 60 emitters on the whole thing, and for a total of a nice even 30 plants in this entire room. Part 2 time lapse coming now. So here's the only error that I made. I put it too close one to another, so we had to put one little of these little plugs in here. But other than that, everything looking good. So there it is, pretty much complete. Everything on both tables. Total of 60 dripper lines, half gallon per hour drippers, 2 per plant, for a total of 30 plants. That's great, nice little advancement today here in the large flower room. So what's next and what's to come? Well, obviously CO2. That's here in 2 days notice, so as soon as I pull the trigger, it's here in 2 days. I'm gonna get 2 tanks right away, and we gotta finish setting up the CO2, but I'm on standby here in the irrigation room. So this here, little foreshadow what's to come. Very soon you're gonna see 3 different reservoirs, 150 liters each, and there's gonna be 2 of water, 1 of nutrients, and we're gonna have everything set up for the circulating system, basically be able to control, fill up the feed when we need to, have the RO already going in there, always with a little air valve to shut it off. So a lot to come. It really should just be a few days full day's work, but we got to get the material here. So that's the next thing. Setting up the RO comes at that same time. So we got to set the RO filter, everything we got from Grower's House, shout out there. Everything's been great. We've been finding the best prices, good deals, and things have been really quick on shipping. Everything from our pumps to the beds and now to the RO system. So Grower's House has been a huge help as far as a one-stop shop to be able to get a lot of this crazy gear, which is so many parts coming together as one. Made sure we have a bunch of extra drip emitters, a bunch of extra elbows and tees and tubing and everything just in case anything ever happens. And then when we set up our reservoirs and everything, we got to get to setting up our motorized ball valves. So a huge part 2 coming, and then part 2 will essentially be the finalization of this entire grow room. Get some clip fans on here, get the pots in here, get everything set up and ready to go. But exciting times, big stuff coming. And a little foreshadow, Terp Team 6, our favorite from the Umami recent hunt. We found some crazy ones that we really love. We're gonna fill it up in here with that, alongside with something else mystery that'll fill up the last little third of it. But we'll have 2/3 Umami Terp Team 6 for second edition of the testing and the CO2, and then we'll finalize with something else in there, which you guys let us know what it is, because there's a lot of options. And look, Brian elevating his game, dude, getting into irrigation parts and ball valves. It's going to take a lot of stops to the department store, but we're going to make it happen, right, bro? Muchas vueltas a la ferretería, pero lo vamos a lograr, ¿no?
Mucho, sí. Ahí nos vamos yendo de a poquito, vamos construyendo y va a quedar súper genial.
So here's the big inspiration, obviously, from the ATHENA manual to go into irrigation. Finally going to be following some very specific guidelines and drybacks and ECs and learning a whole bunch of new stuff, right? This is phase 2, but eventually, guys, we'll get to phase 3. This could be another 6 months, could be a year, I don't know. But eventually this is the goal, this is what I'd like to get to, and this was phase 2 in order to get there. So again, huge shout out to ATHENA and their Grow manual that really is a huge inspiration for pushing the game and getting into this, getting into the official drybacks, getting into monitoring every single little thing, paying attention to when it comes to nutrition, and following the recipe of the pros. So this is, again, big inspiration. I also want to take a second and thank Terpy Highs for laying the foundation for a lot of the how-to on doing this. Grower's House for making a lot of this gear available all at one stop to be able to get a lot of this stuff all at one place, and I found probably some of the best deals I was able to find compared to other places with shipping costs and stuff like my pumps, the beds, and everything else that we ended up ordering, like the osmosis system. And then obviously the killer, the main, the top dogs, AC Infinity for powering everything. Always when it comes to our LEDs, our extractors, everything we've used up until now has been AC Infinity, and that's for a good reason. We definitely like and trust AC Infinity and use it for our stuff. We leave a code for any of the stuff that we do have affiliate codes for down in the description below. Again, we don't leave codes or recommend anything that we don't actually use, trust, and like ourselves here at HomeGrowTV. So make sure you guys check those out down below. I've left a discount code for everything, and the brand new part about AC Infinity discount code, it's now for 15%. So you can save yourself 15% by using code HomeGrowTV with a lot of our affiliate partners. Huge shout out to the ones inspiring this new change and making it possible. Pulse Grow and all their monitors. They're the reason we're going to actually be able to know when it's time to feed, what our drybacks are doing, and everything we're learning from ATHENA we're able to apply because of Pulse. So awesome, great additions, guys. I'm really excited to see this come along and evolve and finally get some plants in here, hopefully soon.